Hello, I'd like to welcome you to the customer inquiry demo. Okay, so I'm in the customer module. Yeah, if I go to customers and find customers, here's a list of all my customers. Obviously, you can do what you usually do, which is kind of like you can grab a column and group by it. You can sort by any column just by kind of clicking on it. You've got tabs usually across the top, active customers, my customers, inactive ones, or delivery addresses. You can search for things just by typing something in there, and obviously anything with BB or whatever you type in will be there. Okay, so let's pick on a toy customer in UK. Okay, so I'll just expand the form a little bit so you can see it a bit better. The whole point about this is that whether it's a customer or prospect, everything is in one place. Okay, so here's the billing address. Every form has like a custom fields area, just where you can actually create your own custom fields, whatever that might be, whether it be a number, a pull down, a date, whatever you want. Yeah, and it's just a simple job to add custom fields onto the form. We have a recent history, what's been going on. Trading information like what's the balance, all that kind of stuff. Messages. When I do a quote or an order, do I want to pop a message up? Obviously, you can do that. Do I doing that? Across the bottom here, we have contacts. You can have as many contacts as you want against this particular customer or prospect. If you go to notes, you can have as many notes as you want. If I open a note up that I've already done, you can actually see the person that did it, date and time they did it, and what it was about. Yeah. You've got little icon buttons here, so you can do a quote, an order, an invoice, a credit memo, receipt, create a new contact, or create a note. Yeah, or you can just create it in here by clicking those little three buttons there. Okay, so activities. So this is what's been going on. Callbacks, meetings, to-dos, cases, all that kind of stuff. So if I create a new activity, let's say I'm talking to the customer. Right, I'm going to make a call. Yeah, it's about the quote. Yeah, that's the contact at this particular one. It's automatically put my user ID in. The date, time, which can change. Again, I got custom fields in the activity form. I can put some details in here. I can attach documents or notes. So if I say, well, I could just save and close that, or I can punch it out. Or what I can do is I can say, right, I'll call you back in 2 weeks' time. So I create a call back. So yep, save that, and I'll say I'll call you back 2 weeks' time. What it does is the callback, it saves the existing call record and completes it, and then it creates a callback record, waiting to go into my callbacks. Okay, so I save and close that. That's obviously part of the list now. I can also see cases. I don't know if you know much about case management. So this allows you to, any problems at the customer, you can log them, you can keep track of them. You've got service level agreements to kind of say, well, I want to deal with everything in 8 working hours, so it knows if you log it on a Friday at 11 o'clock, well, you don't work Saturday, Sunday, so 11 o'clock on the Monday is the kind of due time and date on 8 working hours. So you can see on an individual basis for the customer, what cases you've got outstanding. Yeah, if you go into CRM and go to the cases dashboard, then you can actually see all cases across all customers that are outstanding. Yeah. Okay. So just go back to the customer record. Okay. So we also have opportunities. Okay. So these are things that are more long-winded than just a quote. So obviously you can just do a quote. One of those, two of those, three of those. Yeah, and keep track of quotes, outstanding quotes. Yeah, or you might it might be more long-winded. So for example, the kind of deals we do are more long-winded. So it's not just a case of doing a quote with one of them, two of them. Yeah, we have to actually do a kind of like a more Word document, lots of text in it, lots of descriptions about what's going on, and then we create an opportunity and attach those documents to the opportunity. Yeah, so if I kind of quickly show you an opportunity. Yeah, you can see here's an opportunity form. In the form you can put things like close dates and again custom fields, some notes. You can put attach documents, like Word documents or spreadsheets or images or whatever you want. Yeah, and then that keeps track of the opportunities. Yeah, so these are all opportunities at this customer, and again we have an overall dashboard on opportunities to say these are all the opportunities that are outstanding. Yeah, based on whatever filters I put on. Yeah, for that particular customer. So, but obviously if I go the quote route, so if I click this button here, I can do a quote from the customer form. yeah, and I can say, right, okay, one of those or whatever, yeah, and there's the defaults in their special pricing, all that kind of stuff. I can email them off the quote just by going, is it a quote pro forma? Yeah, I can email it off to them. Yeah, save and close, and that's if I then look at my customer and find my quotes. Yeah, these are then all my outstanding quotes that I would chase up. So you're either usually opportunity orientated or you're quote orientated. You couldn't obviously use both, but people are usually saying, well, I don't need opportunities, yeah, and I'll just have a list of outstanding quotes that I'll chase, yeah, or no, I do need opportunities because they're more long-winded, and I'll put all my documents against them, yeah, and even my quotes against them, yeah, and chase based on opportunity management. Okay, so we also have documents against the customer record. You can put whatever documents, images, spreadsheets against the customer. You have something called wave activity. So in the CRM system, you can do kind of email shots, call lists, letters, all that kind of stuff, and it just says what have they been part of, yeah, from a kind of marketing point of view. The contact history tab gives you everything in one place. So instead of you having to look at notes, activities, cases, opportunities, they're all there. Yeah, it's all there in kind of like date order of what's been going on. And if you have the Exchange email, which most people do now, or 365 email, yeah, if you want to, you can create a folder called Interprise in your Outlook client, and anything you drop in there will automatically sync into this folder. You can, if you wanted to, you could click the inbox and the sent box, but then of course you get tons and tons of emails in here that then no one looks at. So anything worthy of note, yeah, copy into that folder and then it will appear on their record. Okay. So we also have a setup tab. Okay, so a setup tab is what are the terms and the shipping methods and which warehouse do you want to take stuff from, who's it assigned to, just the kind of general defaults, yeah, against a particular customer record, yeah. So do I demand the purchase order reference when I'm doing a quote or an order? Do I demand it? Yeah. If I look at the contact tab, yeah, sorry, I have to go back there for a second. You've also got overrides, yeah. So if, for example, we do a sales order on a quote, yeah, to a particular person, that might go to the contact. Same with the order acknowledgement. But then when you send the invoice, you might want to say, well, I don't want to send it to the contact. I actually want to send it to their accounts department or whatever. Yeah, so it just allows you to have overrides on the kind of setup on certain documents when you're emailing them. Okay. So the contact tab is exactly the same as the general tab, but when you look at the notes and activities and all that kind of stuff, it's specifically to do with that particular contact. Yeah, so you can have a separate address for the contact, their telephone numbers, mobiles. This little ring here says, is it okay to fax them or not? Is it okay to call them? Or if it's not okay to call them or email, you can kind of click the icon by saying no, it's not. Okay, pricing. Okay, so in our simplest form is, well, we have wholesale and resale price on an item. You can also do things like last price paid or markup on cost price or the price list. So if you do a price list, attach them to a price list, you can put whatever items you want into a price list. Yeah, and then based on you can just literally put the item in and a price, or you can go down if you wanted to their units of measure and say, well, for each, if they buy 1 to 100 they get this price, over 100 they get that price, and then if you wanted to, you could also put price by the case. Yeah, so cases are 50. So if nothing's in here, yeah, and they buy 2 cases, then they know that that's 100, so it would apply the each pricing. Yeah. Okay. Well, just you can also export and import these price lists, yeah, to Excel. Okay, but the pricing means that they're assigned to a price list. You could also assign them to a overall discount or a category band discount if you wanted to. So you can actually give a percentage on top for each particular category. Yeah, so if I picked on one, okay, I haven't got one set up here, but you get the idea. Okay, so customer part codes. We can put in the customer part code on certain items or all their items. So when we do a sales order or whatever, or an invoice, we will display our stock code and description, but also underneath in brackets theirs. We also have special pricing. So this overrides everything. So if I put something in here, so if I agree a specific price with the customer, yeah, then I can say, right, for those you pay this. And again, you've got the quantity breaks if you agree them. Okay, we've got analysis. So just literally graphically what they've been monthly trading and their transactions. Yeah, and you've got obviously the transaction history, which is outstanding quotes. Obviously, you can drill down on any of those and open them up. And orders, so these outstanding orders, invoices, and obviously you've got the ledger. Yeah, so the ledger gives you everything that's outstanding at the minute. Obviously, if you say all, that'll give you everything, but as default, it gives you everything that's outstanding. You can double click on all the transactions just to open up the invoice or whatever. You can see in base currency what it is, in the currency that you've invoiced them. Yeah, what's outstanding. Yeah, are there any attachments? So you can see here that that one hasn't got a cross on it, so that one has got attachments. Maybe you want to attach, I don't know, a signed delivery note or an order acknowledgement, whatever it might be. You know, obviously if you click that, you can see what the image is behind it, and it can be multiple documents. Is it in dispute? And if it is, what's the reason? So you can see, quite easily, what's been going on with their ledger. Recent sales. So what's been going on? What they've been buying? Yeah, if you wanted to try, if you're talking to them, you could try and upsell them on other items. People that buy those also buy these. This is quite nice in the fact that this is everything they've been buying. Yeah, over the last rolling 12 months. Yeah, and if it's green, it's okay. If it's amber, it's kind of within 20%. If it's red, though, they've changed their buying pattern. So what it means is, well, if they're still buying, 15-inch wheels, yeah, then they're not buying them off us anymore. So maybe you should ask the question if they are or not. Credit receivables. Okay, so this is what they owe. So I've got obviously information about what their last payment was. I've got notes overall. I've got, do I want to see it in currency or the customer currency? Do I want to see it by due date, document date, a calendar month? Do I want to age these debts by 7, 14 or 30? So if I said, right, well, give me the biggest, oldest debt first, so I can see, right, well, I'm on the phone to the customer. Yeah, I can say, well, have you got invoice number 2 or 41? No, you've not got those. Okay, I'll tell you what I do. I'll send you a quick copy now. Yeah, let me just make sure your email address is still info to a customer, isn't it? Yeah, okay, print, away you go. Yeah, so that will obviously send them an email with both of those attached, and you can talk to them on the phone while they get it. Okay, and now you can actually say, well, when are you going to pay me those? So I can update the payment promise date on those. Yeah, well, let's say I'll pay you by the beginning of next week. Yeah, so when I do that, it applies those to those particular transactions. So if you're chasing debts, you can actually, do it by payment promise date if you wanted to. So we also have a ship to records. Okay, so you can have as many delivery addresses as you want against each individual delivery address. Yeah, obviously you can have custom fields. You can see specifically the transactions for this ship to or delivery address, not rather than overall on the customer record. You can obviously have contacts, notes, and activities and documents. Yeah, against this particular delivery address. You can also have things like, well, what warehouse should we take it from? Or so if we pick this ship to, I want my orders to always default from the London warehouse, because obviously this address might be right next to London or whatever. Yeah, what's the delivery route? Yeah, who's the rep assigned to this particular delivery address? Open and close times. Do I need to book a date and time? Okay, so it's quite detailed on the actual ship to records. So we also have things like service contracts. These are things where you can create a contract and then list a load of items. Yeah. So just to keep track of any contract you might have. Yeah. Consignment stock. Okay, so this is where you put stock at the customer site. Yeah, and then when they use it, you bill it. Yeah. So if I look at here, I've set up this particular warehouse as a consignment one. So I've said I want the summary to be the view to be summary. So these are all the items that this customer's got. Yeah. So they've got 2 there. So if I look at the detailed, you can see that what happened was we sent some stock over there. Yeah, we've not actually invoiced any of it. Yeah. So we've just sent them that, and they still need to tell us whether they actually invoiced it or not. You can print an up-to-date sheet as well to say, well, if I just show them all so you can see, preview them. So one of the sheets is to give to the customer. Yeah, so You can but that's the transaction history one. Yeah, but that's a summary for the customer. That one. Let me just come back to that one in a second. So, yeah. So this is one that you'd give to the customer that then gives the items they should have and the quantities they should have them at their sale price. So this is the price that we usually charge to them, so they know that that's the value of our stock they have. Okay. So if I look at this one, this is kind of what the transactions that have been happening. Yeah. So just kind of open those up again. Okay, so this one's our internal note that tells us, okay, well this customer's got these items and at average cost, standard costs, and what total at average cost and total at standard cost. We know what value of our stock is actually there. Yeah, and we know from a summary point of view as well what each particular consignment warehouse. Okay, head office lookup. So is this linked? So is this the head office for any other accounts? Just means you can send a statement to this account for all those records. And are there any projects assigned to this particular customer record? So you've got quite a lot there. And the whole point about this is that it's everything in one place. So as soon as you pop up the prospect or customer record, yeah, when you're talking to them, you know everything about them all in the one place. Okay, thanks very much.